All right, I had a chance to bump into Mr. Chris Tanner from Preparedmind101.
Hey, that guy's a dick.
Hey, don't believe the rumors.
I'm embracing the salty aspects. It's just become fun for me.
See, my first day of shot is Thursday, where these guys have already been worn down from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So,
Ribs are all out of place because I put too much weight in my backpack. And, when you get the SHOT Show, I got to have my extra batteries. And I got this. No, you don't. Because then you're walking around, the step count. The first day was like 7 miles on the fitness tracker. And by that time, I'm in my mid-40s, let's be honest. That much weight, it just wrecks me. I'm like, ugh.
yeah, standing on carpet and concrete for 8-9 hours. But you know what?
Have you been down to VanQuest yet?
Yeah.
See, I needed one of those new packs that actually, rests on your hips.
Yeah, they got the lumbar thing going on this year, so you're going to have to check our videos on that.
Yeah, that's one of the things we've been asking for forever. It's like there needs to be a tactical backpack that takes the aspects of hiking backpacks and actually carries the freaking weight. So VanQuest is just knocking it out of the park here lately.
I'm impressed with their whole line this year. Speaking of line, you came out with a couple new knives last year. I had a chance to do a review on one of them. I call it a Hall of Fame knife on the channel, and it's not just kissing your ass and bowing to the altar of Preparedmind101.
Well,
it's a great design.
People are going to say bias and this, that, and the other thing. I understand that, but I'm only half the equation. I'm the brain part of it, thinking the idea, and then Bark River actually makes it into reality. But for the large survival knife chopper thing, I don't think I could ever outdo the Jax 5. And you don't even have to take my word for it. I mean, you just ask anybody that has one. It's freaking amazing. It'll out-chop a freaking
It's worth
small.
the money. It's that.
And the fact that Mike can get it done, we're talking about Mike Stewart, Bark River Knives, but like the base model handles, like the black, the green, the natural micarta, the fact that he can do that knife for $250 is freaking insanity. I don't know how he does it, but I'm not arguing.
Yeah, I was surprised because that's a lot of steel. And that's the biggest part of the equation on that.
It's got to be just because Bark River's a lot bigger than what people think, and he probably quantity discounts because the LT Wright Jesmic in 3V is probably about as much steel as the blade of the Jax 5, and it costs the same thing. It's about $250. It's still worth it, but the Jax 5 is just incredible. You're getting so much for that money, being that it's 3V.
Now, do you have a design coming out soon?
Yes. So I think, what am I on, 7? So I've got, I'm up to JX6, but then we've got, the sub knife, the Jesmic C, so that's also a Jessica knife, so that's 7.
So are these names kind of like when you're doing military clearances, you got secret, top secret, then there's top secret alpha, top secret bravo.
So I've got 7 knives. Round that down to 6 because Jess X is pretty much done now. So Jess X is gone. Trade ruined that. They do still have that Trade Fro, which that does a good job for splitting. But with my focus going forward, my next big knife that's going to be like super hot is the Dev X. And that's going to be the first of the new line. The one area that I have not done before in all my knife designs is kind of like that range of where I started, and I hate to even draw the comparison because then I don't want to freak anybody out, but the original Jessica knife was a Becker BK7.
Right.
And I haven't done a knife that's in that 7 to 8 inch, kind of like the large knife, but not a chopper knife.
Right.
So what the Dev X is it's going to be probably around 7.5, and it's going to have all the bells and whistles. I'm blanking right now. Long day.
We're all on sleep deprivation today, so
I don't know why I can't think. Why can I not think of the name of? People call it a blood groove, but it's not really a blood groove.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
you folks know what we're talking about. That part that's milled out near the spine of the blade.
Yeah, that's going to bug me that I can't Can't
I
think
know,
of that
we're-
right now.
our
But it's
brains
going to
are
have
fried.
that, so it's going to be like really sexy looking, and then it's going to have. Okay.
It's a live show, folks. We're doing stuff on the fly.
But it's going to have the JX5 handle, but scaled down.
Okay.
So it's going to be, whereas like my original favorite, and the Becker BK7 to me is an iconic knife. I still think it's a great knife.
That's a Hall of Fame blade.
But it's a combat knife.
Right.
And I'm not making a combat knife.
Right.
So I'm most of my big stuff, I want to keep doing the multi-position handle idea because it just works, and eventually more people will pick it up.
I've seen a few designs here today that kind of have that handle.
And the way that I'm envisioning the DevX is it should have 4 handle positions. So you will be able to do more with that one knife, small tasks, big tasks, and that would be a good one if you're like one of the people that, still like axes. You obviously wouldn't carry a DevX and a Vengeful 1. That's too close together. But if you don't like the big chopper knives, the DevX would be a large knife that can still do small tasks, and then you would have like your big chopper, whatever. Trying to get something a little bit of everything. And then we're also thinking about.
So what's the genesis behind, when you as a knife designer, when you go with a blank piece of paper and a pencil, what's like the first thought that comes into your mind when you start designing a blade?
It's always function first. What do I want the knife to do? Okay. And then how do I have to make the knife in order to do that? Aesthetics comes last. Okay. I think aesthetics is where knife design has stagnated because people just get used to, if it's this type of knife, it's got to be like this.
Right.
I'm like, no, the hell it doesn't. I still got 5, I'll still have 5 haters that says that, Just X was, someone made it 5,000 years ago or something like that. But no, they didn't.
Iceman.
And what I proved with that and what I proved with the Jesmic, because there was never ever a bushcraft knife with a symmetrical Ulu sweep, is that all the ideas are not used up.
Right.
There's still room to innovate, and I think the biggest area that is going to open things up is the handle, not the blade, but the handle. And the longer handle just gives you so many more options. The biggest thing I like about it is the balance and leverage, and it changes the knife based on the tasks that you're trying to do. So the plan is, the DevX is going to be the next big one. Okay. With Bark River.
We'll cut photos in. Chris is going to send me some photos on this. So as we're talking, I'll put them in the video. So
the JX5 has proven to be extremely popular, and Bark River is just saying, like, this is our new, as far as big, large, heavy-duty chopping knives, the JX5's the flagship now. So they're going to keep rolling with more JX5s. The second run's almost sold out now. There's a new run of JX6s on the schedule because we didn't do a whole bunch. JX6 was kind of like a slow burn, but everyone that had it loved it. That was one of the ones that Joe Mobley said was like one of the best fixed blade knives of 2016. So if Joe likes it, it must be good. And then DLT wants to do another exclusive with LT Wright because the Jesmic C was. So what I'm thinking, this is my idea. This isn't set in stone yet.
You guys are hearing it first right here.
But you know how I like to, just for fun, I like to poke bushcrafters in the eye. just because they're so uptight, and I'm trying to get you to loosen up.
Relax. It's 2018. Gotta relax.
So the Jesmic never had anything to do with the Nesmic knife. The Nesmic knife was not a factor in that design. That was a viewer that came up with that name, and I thought it was so funny. I was like, yeah, we're calling it the Jesmic. It had. But people still say when they're talking about my knife in a video, they're like, this is Chris Tanner's take on a Nesmic. No, it isn't. No, it's not. But because it does sound like Nesmic, what I'm thinking is I want to do for this next exclusive is I'm working on doing my twist on a Kephart.
Nice.
And I'll call it the Jess Heart.
Oh, God.
Just because
Don't blow up my comments, please. Don't forward them over to Tanner's channel.
See, here's the thing. When people are like, yeah, your names are stupid and blah, blah, blah. There's a method to my madness. And obviously, there's something to it because I sell them all out. The name, silly as they may be, for me, there's a little bit of magic in it. But also, the name makes people stop and look. In an overcrowded market,
information
it's
overload.
not easy to get people to stop and look. But you name it after some woman, and all of a sudden people are like, huh, what? Now you're looking. And while you're looking, trying to figure out what this crazy thing is, now you're like, wait, that design actually looks pretty good. So that's why I do this stuff. DevX was actually named my BFF, my best female friend.
Oh, God.
She named it after.
This is like TMZ at SHOT Show right now.
She named it after herself as a joke. I was like, I'm running out of Jess Magic. I gotta come up with a new name. She's like, call it the DevX. And it just, that click in my head happened. I'm like, oh, that's what it's gonna be called.
There you go.
And what's cool is it doesn't necessarily sound like it's named after a woman. It sounds cool, but it is.
Like I said, top secret alpha, top secret Bravo.
It makes it funny. I like, in my opinion, everybody needs to loosen up and have fun and quit taking stuff so serious. And
Blade Show, are you going this year?
I always go to Blade Show.
Yeah, I got to make the trip myself.
I don't always go to. I probably won't go to SHOT Show next year because now I remember why I quit coming.
Everybody's getting sick. Everybody I saw today had like.
It's just so exhausting, and it's not really our
genre
stuff.
Sort of stuff, yeah.
SHOT Show is like 90% stuff that doesn't matter.
Things that go boom.
These are my new anodized scope rings. Like, ooh, whoop-de shit. Who cares? I mean, gun
I do like my air
accessories. There's some cool stuff here, but a lot of the stuff that we deal with are like smaller companies that aren't going to pay the money to come to SHOT Show.
Right.
So
No, I agree.
Really, if we're being perfectly honest, we come to SHOT Show to stay relevant. So
Enemy.
Yeah.
EJ Snyder.
Yeah. Company. When you're talking to companies and they want you to take you seriously, it's like, yes, I have media credentials. I go do all these things and stuff like that. I mean, you gotta know how to play the game when you do what we do.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've been babbling for a while. So, any other questions?
No, I think the public want to know what new knives you had coming out, and
to be honest, I joke around with my YouTube stuff. I'm smart enough to know YouTube isn't going to last forever.
Yeah.
But I'm very serious about the knife design stuff. I mean, that's just something I discovered I'm very good at. I'm not going to say I'm not. I'm not trying to be egotistical, but
from a damage control aspect,
I haven't made anything that hasn't succeeded yet.
Yeah.
And I know if it will before we produce it. Therefore, if it's not going to work, we just don't make it.
Right.
I did one that was just kind of playing around that LT made, and I had him make it, when that time comes up that they'll make any design you want.
Right.
And when I tested it, I'm like, this isn't exceptional, so we scrapped it. We didn't do it.
Yeah.
So it's got to work. It's got to be good. And another thing is, people ask me all the time, like, why don't you have Condor? You're friends with Joe Flowers. Why don't you have Condor make something? Or why don't you have a production company? We've seen now what happens when you turn over control of your stuff to a production company, with the Schrade apocalypse. But the other thing you got to consider, you got to look at it from their standpoint. They're a big these are big companies, and image is everything. And I'm kind of a renegade in that I will say things that will get a rise out of people.
Just a little bit.
I'll start some controversies and stuff like. I'm not like this cookie cutter nice guy that's on TV. So I understand why.
The tragic hero.
I mean, they know that I make stuff that sells, but some people view me as a little risky. You know what I mean?
On the fringe.
Because it's like I don't know what's going to come out of his mouth tomorrow. So you get what you pay for. In the end. My stuff being all LT and Bark River, it's American made, guaranteed for life. Both of them have exceptional quality control. You've never seen them break.
No.
And it's like, so what's there to complain about? You just got to save up.
Cool. Well, dude, thanks for coming on the channel. Thanks for giving an update to the fans out there. And if you're not a subscriber to his channel, jump over there and subscribe.
I'm going to send him El Chete to do a video on, because
Oh, we're going to chop some stuff. We are definitely going to chop some stuff.
little chop-pocalypse.
Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video.
See ya.